Good morning. I'm really excited to be back again, and I'm going to use some of my oils. However, during this 2 minutes while we're kind of waiting for others to get online, I'm going to just express my gratitude to each of you who chooses to spend your time with me on Sundays or whenever it is when you are watching. I am humbled by the numbers, and I am very, very grateful. So we will continue, and I'm going to use some oils just to get myself ready during this next minute or so. And I'm going to begin with my favorite grounding oil, which is Sacred Mountain, because I'm choosing to be grounded. And I'm going to top it off, the Sacred Mountain, with also grounding blend. And I have a new bottle of grounding blend. I did use up my older label, so I have a new bottle, and I have been using it. Sometimes it's very, very difficult for us to remain grounded when we are busy. Would you agree? So I'm just going to breathe in my oils and intend to remain fully grounded. And I'm so excited to see some of you already online. Thank you for being here, my loyal friends. And as I said before, I'm very grateful for you. And it looks like it is just about almost the top of the hour. So we'll go ahead and get started with Happy Sunday. My topic today: do you choose harmony or chaos? And at this particular time, we're all busy. Would you agree? And when we're busy, we usually have to stop doing some of the things that we might choose otherwise to do. So, how often were you able to check in this week? That's what we were talking about last week, really making an effort to check in and see where our energy is, where at any given moment, where it has been, and what we are choosing to do about it. Now, I'm going to make this is not a judgment in any way. It's not a judgment. A judgment has a negative connotation, whereas an assessment, or in this case, to go along with our grounding, actively reassessing yourself, it is an evaluation. We are asking questions which to clarify. Judgment has that negative connotation, but assessment is neutral. It's just looking for information. Would you agree? And we're not judging ourselves. We're not being hard or harsh on ourselves. We're just attempting to see where we truly are. So, when you checked in this week, now, last week I suggested that you select an oil or a blend, a single oil or blend that really made you feel special, to reward yourself every time you do check in. And if you did this, I used my highest potential, and I used a lot of highest potential because I made a pact with myself to check in more often. And what I found when I checked in was not always what I expected to find. How many of you found that you were in a different place from what you may have thought you were in? I'm going to ask this again. This is not judgment. It's just to make you think. What did you do about it? Did you do anything about it? Well, what I chose to do was to use oils and to breathe and to make that intent to raise my energy up and to create those boundaries that would allow me to hold on to my energy without taking on stuff from others or allowing my energy to sap outward. Does that make sense? Now, this isn't about being ugly. It's just about taking care of our energy field, of who we are. So today, as I said, talking about when I selected yesterday the topic for today, I had to laugh because I really do think the source always sends us interesting messages. And I had to laugh that I drew this morning. Honest to goodness, these are my cards that I drew because the first thing I do is to open my app and select cards for the day with the intent that I will select those that would be most helpful for me. I then went to, so that I could show you, I took out my actual physical cards and I drew, of all things, harmony. The harmony hologram, the harmony combination. And this is one that always makes me very happy because reading at the bottom of the card, is the concept, the overall concept of this particular hologram. And these glyphs make me very happy. So this makes me very comfortable until I read a little farther. Now, for those of you who haven't read about the harmony glyph, it's about longevity. Who couldn't get excited about longevity? Because it's longevity of health, longevity of relationships. How can we have a healthy physical body and energy being if there is no harmony, if there is disharmony? And how can we have healthy relationships when there is disharmony on all levels? So reading, I love these glyphs. These glyphs make me very, very happy. The compassion glyph about nurturing of self and others and finding that perfect balance of giving and receiving. The acceptance glyph, the glyph of accepting who you are, where you are on your journey, and that gentleness of accepting others and allowing yourself and others your own journeys. And then the unity glyph, which is all about harmony and collaboration all by itself. It makes me feel warm and fuzzy. And so I use a lot of the Idaho balsam fir, blue spruce, and black spruce that anchor the compassion glyph, and the sacred frankincense and frankincense that anchor the acceptance glyph, and the ylang-ylang that anchors the glyph of unity. So I'm going to tell you what I do next. I then look at my journey book. Now I have the pages marked for the 3 cards that I drew so that I can show you how I feel that it works together. So here I am finding the harmony glyph. And the harmony glyph supports minimizing issues of survival. That got me to thinking. Ceasing to create codependent relationships. And that's something that many of us tend to do without realizing it. And how can we have longevity physically ourselves or longevity of relationships when we're in this codependent situation? Overcoming love-hate relationships. I'm just reading right here from my journey book. Overcoming clinginess. Ending the victim thought form. Now, this is one that, of course, I naturally think of, transcending illness and disease. Creation of healthy and loving relationships. And the last one in this book is living in the moment. Living in the moment means that we put behind us those things that have gone before, those things that may have been positive at the time or may have been negative experiences at the time, but they are in the past. So when we're living in the moment, we are truly experiencing that harmony of being present, of understanding and living this moment. Now, I know what you're thinking. I'm too busy to really think about this. I'm busy, busy, busy. However, this may be the most important thing of all, to actually take that time. So what I'm going to say that I do may not be the right thing for you, but what I have done when I'm choosing to check in, which is more and more often, thank you, Stephen, I am using oils. I'm using the oil that I selected, and I am pre-selecting my oil today, but the oil that I selected, using it to reward myself for taking that time to breathe in that oil and to pay attention to what is truly going on in my life. Now, that takes care of the harmony, the hologram. Now, I do also muscle tests to see which one of these aspects is most appropriate. Sometimes it's the concept. Sometimes it's one of those little different things that it supports. Sometimes it's all of them. It just changes. We all change. We're never the same person at any two times, ever, ever, ever. So my second, I like to see how do these cards work together. Well, I chose authenticity. Authenticity is anchored by the cedar wood and the copaiba and the hong kwai, also the crystals of red jasper and amber. That's why I'm wearing my amber bracelet today, because I'm reminding myself and choosing to have that frequency of authenticity. Authenticity is about truly taking off those masks that we all put on for others, and we confuse ourselves. Those masks that we wear because we feel that others have expectations of who we are. So as we remove these masks, we understand more and more of the magnificence of who we truly were created to be. This is not always easy, and it does help to have these harmony frequencies along with it, because sometimes it's a shock to see who we truly are. And then we have a decision to make as to whether we are going to actually show others who we truly are, or whether we will put on our masks again before we go out, just for the expectations of others. Now, at this particular time of the year, we see a lot of people that we may not have seen for a while. They may not remember. They may remember us one way, and we may have grown into a totally different person. So this is about making a decision of whether you will show others your authentic self. And then my third card was the warrior card. Now, I'm going to read some of the things about the warrior. See, I had authenticity marked, and now I have warrior marked. Warrior. I'm just going to read, because the warrior is one who is a strong leader, competitor, or athlete. And there are some really positive attributes. A strong leader, analytical, attracts followers easily. Physically strong and often quite athletic, natural ability to engage in and manage conflict. Woo! Always well prepared. Now, when I read natural ability to engage in and manage conflict, that said to me that conflict is the opposite of harmony. So if I am choosing to apply these abilities of the warrior and to dissipate the conflict, I can perhaps have more harmony in my life. Now, am I making any sense at all? So, I'm going to use some more oils. I'm going to use the Harmony Blend. And as I use it, I'm going to intend to increase now the harmony in my life, to increase my focus on maintaining harmony within my own energy field, my intent to have harmony in my relationships with others, and just to be my authentic self more and more with every breath that I take. So this is going to also involve our maintaining our boundaries. Now, who knows the most? What is it that you think about when you are thinking about boundaries, keeping your energy intact? Well, I'm finding that the fire for me is key. It is the critical thing, the most critical thing. So I'm focusing on the breath of life, breathing the breath of life into every aspect of who I am. It doesn't take long. You can be in a queue waiting for something. You can do it when you're all by yourself, before you go to sleep, when you wake up, whenever you have a moment. You can take a few deep breaths and intend that your fire rise up, burning away the things that are no longer supporting you, and raising your energy, your will, your passion, your desire to move forward. As we have more passion, as our breath of life, our fire is strengthened, it will help us to burn away those cords of attachment that are holding us back. And we all have them. One of my great cords of attachment is to stuff. I love boxes and bags. It's a thing I've had as long as I can remember. It's difficult to give up boxes and bags, and I collect them. I have to move every now and then just to make sure that these boxes and bags are kept intact, to get rid of a few of them. But whatever these attachments are that are draining our energy, we have the choice to get rid of them. And fire is a great, great choice. It also will help to ward off any of these periods of low energy, of, oh, I'm just too tired, or I'm sick. It will burn away all of that stuff. So, who knows what the essential oils that anchor the fire or the breath of life are? Orange essential oil. Orange, tangerine, mandarin, lemon is also part of the fire element. And then we can calm it all down with the sandalwood. When we use all of those, it will truly allow our fire to burn at a perfect rate for who we are, for what we require in that particular moment. So I'm going to suggest this week that if you're choosing to have joy in your life, you may choose to use a lot of joy blend. What's not to choose about joy? You may choose peace and calming. How often do we forget that we can choose to have peace at any point, anywhere? Wow, I've been talking about fire and all of a sudden I'm really very, very hot. It's as if my air conditioning has been turned off. And you may choose to have white angelica. Many love to use white angelica before going out. They feel that if you get dressed and have your energy intact, just brushing the white angelica all over your field will help your boundaries to be stronger. So I'm going to challenge you this week to select your special oil to reward yourself multiple times daily as you check in. Every time you choose to check in, be sure and reward yourself for taking that particular moment to do that. Because when we know there is a reward, we feel differently than when we say, oh, I didn't check in. That's a judgment. But if you do choose to check in, select your oil. Now this week, the one that's going with me is the Harmony Blend. And I'm going to intend to use it over and over and over again, every time, understanding that I can choose harmony in my life, longevity of health, harmony on a physical level, longevity of relationships, everything harmonious, because I don't choose to have conflict. I'm going to focus on that strength of the warrior to manage conflict and turn it into harmony. So as you move through this week, enjoy every single moment and have a beautiful, beautiful, happy, harmonious week. I'll see you again next week.